Hi everyone, my name is Taniya, a master's student at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. I am presenting on behalf of the Applied Neuromechanics Research Group in the Virtual Environment for Assessment and Rehabilitation Laboratory. The title of this presentation is Perceived Workload During a 12-Week Attentional Focus Balanced Training Intervention in Older Adults with a History of Falls. This is preliminary data. This research was conducted at UNCG in a collaboration with the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Age increases the amount of attention and postural control. This increases the fall risk in the older population. Current literature supports that an external focus of attention reduces the attentional demand by allowing more automatic control processing. However, attention is only one aspect of the workload required for task execution, and it is unclear if attentional focus globally impacts workload. We investigated the effect of different attentional focus on perceived workload using the NASPSPA Task Load Index during a 12-week balanced training intervention with older adults with a history of falls. You are currently looking at the two groups that we used during this intervention, the external focus group and the internal focus group. The external focus group focused on keeping their board parallel to the floor, and the internal focused on keeping their feet parallel on the floor. During the balance training, all participants completed 20 minutes of training, which is demonstrated on the image on the right. The balance training was held twice a week for 12 weeks. The participants completed the NASA TLX immediately following the first training session, which is session 1, and the last training session, which is session 24. The NASA TLX is a multi-dimensional scale that measures individuals' perceived workload of a task. The index accesses 6 dimensions proposed to encompass workload: mental, physical, temporal, performance, effort, and frustration. For each dimension, participants chose on a 21-point scale what they feel the task required. Scores for the 6 NASA TLX dimensions were summed up to calculate a global perceived workload score. We chose to use the NASA TLX because it includes 6 dimensions that can statistically be measured to quantify the participants' perceived workload. Table 1 presents our participants' characteristics. This is an ongoing study for which a total of 21 participants completed the study thus far. There were no differences in age, height, or weight, and the participants randomly placed in external focus or internal focus groups. Due to the unbalanced and relative small sample size, Cohen's DZ was used to indicate effect sizes at this juncture on the study. Interpretation is as it follows: 0.2 indicates a small effect size, 0.5 indicates a medium effect, and 0.8 indicates a large effect. For the NASA TLX, a reduction in the value reflects a reduction in perceived workload. That is, they are able to complete the task with fewer perceived cognitive and physical demands, and it was hypothesized that the external focus group would exhibit a larger reduction in perceived workload relative to the internal focus group. As shown in the figure, a medium effect size was observed in the reduction of perceived workload for the external focus group, but only a small effect size was observed for the internal focus group, supporting our hypothesis. These preliminary findings suggest balance training may reduce perceived workload during challenging balance tasks in older adults with a history of falls. EF reduced perceived workload to a greater degree relative than the IF group. Future research will implement the impact of attentional focus instructions on the trajectory of perceived workload during a 12-week balance training intervention. Thank you to UNCG, and you can reach me at my email tmwilso5@uncg.edu. Thank you guys for listening.